I have come here today to tell you that your favorite author is overrated. You know who you are. You know which authors I'm talking about. And if you don't, well, stick around because that's what we're going to be talking about today. Overrated authors, or at the very least, overhyped. I do want to say up front here that anything and everything that I say in this video is just simply my opinion. Some of these authors I genuinely don't like. Some of them I actually do quite like quite a bit. I just feel like the hype that they receive here on the BookTube is more hype than they are really should be getting. I don't know. I don't really want to, not trying to trigger anybody. I'm just giving my opinions. So if I wade out into the territory of saying some wildly inoffensive upsetting stuff, it's all in good fun. And I'll try my best to keep myself under control. I recently did my underrated authors video, and I started that one out with Ken Liu because I said that there were two books that were upcoming releases, and one I heard too much about and one I was hearing nothing about. So we started that one off with Ken Liu. Now the one that I hear too much about and I hear people constantly just raving about, let's do this. It's The Empire of whatever the fuck that third book's called, and it's J. Kristoff. Oh my God. It's the amount of hype that this series and this author has received of late is just shameful. This book series is just, it's not worth anybody's time, let alone my time. It's embarrassing. You know what? I don't want to go too hard in on J. Kristoff here, just because I don't want to be assaulted in the comment section. But let's just say that I feel like the level of hype and the level of excitement that this book and this series and this author is receiving is just, I don't understand it. That's where I'll go with this. I do not understand the hype. I read it. It was not good. The writing was not good. The humor was not good. The dialogue was probably the worst dialogue that I have read in a very, very, very long time. I guess if you like it, to each their own. I'm not going to shame you. I'm going to not shame the author. I'm just going to say, really not good stuff. Like, shockingly not good. And then the amount of hype, the hype train is real for this one. And I just, you know what? That's a train that I'm going to let go right on by. And I don't understand it or any of you people riding it. But good for you. And I'm glad that you enjoy things. I just don't, I guess. Let's bring this on back around to somebody that I actually do kind of like a little bit, and that's Joe Abercrombie, because I read the first Law trilogy. It was a good book series. It was quite enjoyable. I had a good time. First book was pretty bad. Second book was better. It got better as it went along, and it ended. I was pretty satisfied with what I read. Solid, good book trilogy. But the amount of people that are running around on BookTube here talking like Joe Abercrombie is like the second coming or something like that is wild. His dialogue is not that sharp. It is not that witty. It's not even that funny. You can feel the author trying to be funny, which immediately makes it kind of not funny and kind of not land. At least it didn't land for me. Like I said, they were good books. I enjoyed them. I had a good time with them. I will definitely be pursuing more Joe Abercrombie in the future. But he wasn't exactly, I read a whole trilogy, 3 of his books, didn't exactly knock my socks off, and I have yet to pick up any more books because I just don't feel that burning desire to get to any of them. And that feeling of, I'll get to his books someday, I guess, just doesn't really line up with the way other people feel about him, apparently. All right, guys, we're moving on to Dan Simmons. Now, did Dan Simmons write one of the greatest science fiction novels of all time when he wrote Hyperion? Yes, he did. The problem is he didn't stop there. He kept writing for some strange reason. Actually, The Fall of Hyperion is a pretty darn good book. I did enjoy that one quite a bit. It is a pretty significant step down from Hyperion. It was an ending. It was good enough. It was a good book. It felt really lackluster when you compare it to the heights that Hyperion reached, and then Fall of Hyperion's just over here in good book territory. Then for some reason he kept going. And the Endymion books, I've said it a million times and I'll say it again, the bed so hard, it's embarrassing. I read Endymion, and I was very disappointed. I read The Rise of Endymion, and I shame on me for not DNFing that book. It was, I somehow trudged through to the end. I hate myself for it. I lost all of those hours of my life. I'll never get them back. Those books were so ungodly bad that I have still never read another Dan Simmons book to this day. And every time somebody puts it in the comment section of one of my videos, you should try XYZ by Dan Simmons, I just go, oh. And I just can't. I honestly should. I really should try some more, just so I have a more well-rounded idea of him as an author, and I can have a better, deeper, more nuanced opinion of him. But gosh, those Endymion books left such a bad taste in my mouth. I still have had zero desire to actually attempt anything else by him. That's how put off I was by those books. Yuck. Next up, I do want to talk about George R.R. Martin. This is another one that I do quite like his books. I really enjoyed the Game of Thrones or A Song of Ice and Fire books, and I think they were quite good. They were quite enjoyable. Above average reads for sure. But just the level of praise that this man is receiving is wild, and the amount of people that put these literally number one on the greatest series of all time, it's not even close to the number one series of all time. Not even. I mean, it did make my top 10 list for sure, but it was way down on the back half of the list, because not coming anywhere near the top half. And I do think he's kind of fallen from grace lately. I don't think it's because of his writing and his ability to write. I think it's just his ability to release a book that has got people so upset. So he's kind of having a moment of shame right now, we'll say. So he was maybe not as controversial of a pick to put on this list, but I'm speaking strictly from an actual writing perspective, and his world building and the character work and everything. I mean, his character work's actually really good, but I feel like he let that story get away from him. I feel like he lost grip on the reins and what he was even trying to do or trying to say with it. He let that spiral a little out of control. It might actually have something to do with why he's not produced anything, because maybe he's got a difficult time. I don't know what is going on with him and why he's not putting out books. And that's not what we're here to talk about. I just feel like greatest series author of all time? Maybe not. Now, to bring this all home and wrap it up, let's talk about Martha Wells. We got to bring in the ladies. We need representation for the girls here. And it's just going to have to be Martha Wells. She's just, Murderbot's not great, guys. It's one of the most average things that's ever been average. It's definitely not bad, but it's really not good. If I were to rate it, I think I'd probably give it a 5 out of 10. Right down the middle of the road. But it's not super amazing. Character work, it's fine. It's good, I guess. The humor, not great. It's it's another one that's trying to be funny and quirky, and it just isn't landing, and it's just not working. At least it's not for me. And then she just gets hype upon the amount of people that read All Systems Red and then just come and rant and rave about it on the BookTube is just kind of shocking, and I don't understand it. I don't get it. I don't know. This is another one that I should probably step outside of the Murderbot realm and try one of her other stories or her other series, just to see if it's just the Murderbot books that really aren't landing with me, or if it's Martha at large. But either way, she, especially the Murderbot books, gets this nice hype train going behind her, and I just don't seem to get it. Once again, not bad books, but not great either, to the point where I've read a couple of them, and I have more on my shelf that I keep saying, I'll probably read another one of those one day, and then every time I go to put a TBR together, I'm I got way more things I'm way more interested in reading right now. Anyway, everybody, that's the list of authors that I think are overrated, overhyped, over something. And I would go ahead and put yours down in the comments below, because I think half of these comments are probably just going to be some of my favorite authors, because boy, oh boy, If there's one thing I like, it's weird, pretentious authors that the rest of the world seems to think are overrated, and that's okay with me because they're the ones I like. Anyway, as always, everybody, the link for my Patreon's in the description below. The link for my Discord's in the description below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.